I've asked our county appraiser, Mark Hickson, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the March 20th, 2014 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission alongside Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2, and Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
First item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Questions or comments?
I have none. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Mr. Chairman, this morning we have vouchers that total $941,138.38. I would note that 55% of it is made up of our capers contributions, the Horizon Health payment, as well as payments to the Director of Vehicles under our holding accounts. Those three parts make up the majority of these vouchers, and I move for approval.
Second.
And those Horizon payments are for the detention center. I think it's important that that's noted. Motion made by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook to approve the correction orders. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, corrections. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-125-2014 with Thompson Reuters Westlaw to provide for provision of legal research access to inmates at a cost of $486.21 per month to be paid from the inmate wellness account.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Tim Phelps, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. I have laid out in the memo the history and the basis of this agreement, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Are there questions or comments?
I do not have any. I would move for approval of the contract with Thomson Reuters.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-126-2014, Second Amendment to Master Services Agreement with Securus Technologies, Inc., reducing the commissions received by the Shawnee County on interstate inmate telephone services by approximately $1,870 monthly.
Morning, Commissioners. Again, this one may need a little bit more fleshing out by way of history. We entered into the contract with Securus effective August of 2012, and we had a significant increase in our commission rates from previous inmate telephone service contracts. Then in 2013, the FCC resolved a matter that had been boiling in the country for probably 15 years, and that is whether there should be limitations on commissions being paid for interstate calls. They issued their order. It then went through a series of challenges, and some of those challenges are still going on across the country and may ultimately result in the order being modified or rescinded. But they issued the order, and it finally took effect in February, and then Securus needed to get all of their contracts updated to reflect what had been mandated by the FCC, and that's what this contract does.
Thank you. Move approval.
A second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, sir. Next item, please.
Item C, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of request to award bids for pool chemicals for the operation of aquatic facilities for the 2014 season at an approximate cost of $100,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. I want to thank the Purchasing Division who helped us with the Recreation Division putting together the specs and getting the bids for these. As you can see, it's kind of complicated. Some people sell their stuff in 5-pound bags. Some of them sell it in 15-pound bags. Some sell it by the gallon. Some sell it by the 50 gallons. But the staff and purchasing has gone through this, and our recommendation to buy these chemicals for our seasonal operations is requested this morning. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Questions or comments? I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, John.
Commissioner.
Next item, please.
Item D, Appraiser. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-127-2014 with the Sidwell Company for annual maintenance and support for Parcel Builder Plus software in an amount of $5,955.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Hickson, County Appraiser. I would just try to answer any questions you might have.
Questions or comments regarding the contract?
I do not. I would move for approval of the contract.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item E, Audit Finance. Number 1, update on expenditures and revenues.
Good morning. Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. I have this morning for you our financial overview through February 28th of 2014. I'll start out by looking at our total revenue. I'll remind you, as always, that this is a snapshot as of the end of February, early on in the year, as you know. This shows our total revenue that we've received through the end of February. And as you can see, that a number is this $42,110,000. Our budget for that same time period is $41,965,000. And last year, our receipts through the end of February were $39,340,000. What that means is that our actual to budget, we are over budget, but by $145,413. So, based on our total budget to date, just for the budget, that is, we are over by 1/3 of 1%. So we are very close, very much right on target as far as the budgeted revenue. If you look at this, shows the categories, the different categories. This blue category is property taxes. As you can see, of what we've received to date, 88% of our revenue is from property taxes. The red area here is special assessments. That's another 5% of our revenue. And then we have the green area there, the little small sliver is other taxes, and then the purple is other revenue. So this really shows you, year to date, where we have received the majority of our revenue. I'll break these down a little bit. We go to the next category is property taxes. And as you see on property taxes, this is the same as I reported last year. We did not have, or not last year, last month. We did not have any tax distributions in the month of February. They were in January, so these are the same. We are over budget by $30,031. So they're again right on target. The next category is our special assessments. There again, this is the same thing. It's the same as last month because there was no tax distributions in February. We are under budget by $147,000 on special assessments. If we go on to other taxes, you can see on that we have received $366,000 and our budget was $372,000. we are under budget by $5,397. So there again, by only being under budget by that small amount, we are right on target with our projected revenues on that, in that category also. If you go to our other revenue category, this you can see we are over budget by $268,000, but we are under last year by $444,000. If you look at the actual to budget and the variance, why we are over $268,000, it's various items. It's not any one large item. The detention facility, the care of prisoners, it's up $54,000 over what was budgeted. Parks and Rec registrations is up $107,000, and then we have a property admin fee, which is at $52,000. So it's really spread among items. It's not one large item. If you look at the difference, like I mentioned, between 2014's amount and 2013, you can obviously see that we are down. And just remind you that the payment from the City of Topeka for the Parks and Rec merger, that is $1 million less this year. We received that in the 2 payments. So that is $500,000 less than last year for this same time period. So that is the primary amount in that. If we go next to our total expenditures, you can see on this that we had budgeted expenditures of $18 million. I wish it was one. $18,572,000. Our budget was $19,314,000. And then in 13, we actually had expenditures of $20,349,000. So we are under our budget for our year-to-date budget by $742,000. That represents about 3.8% of the budgeted amount. It's not in any one item. There again, it's not in any one item. It's spread among the departments. Some departments are slightly above budget, some are below budget. And it's really too early in the year to tell if this means anything at all yet. It could, a lot of these could be timing issues that we had budgeted, they would be expended, in February, where maybe the bill won't come in until March. So it's really too early to say if this is a trend, but at least at this point in time, we are under budget instead of over budget. So that is always a good thing. And then the next slide here just breaks down those expenditures by categories. You can see that public safety, judicial, and emergency services is 41% of what we have spent year to date. Public works is 9%. Public health and human services is 10%. Recreation and culture is 15%. Operational services is 18%. And this month, we added a little area for debt service, which is 7%. We did not have that in January because our semi-annual interest payments on our debt was paid in February. So we have added that little piece of the pie for our year-to-date expenditures for so far this year. Do you have any questions?
Are there questions for
No.
financial
Thank you
administrator?
very much.
Commissioner?
No, and just to point out though that Betty, you did add this to the website, and so I know it was featured there. That was for 2013
Well, and we put the budget on.
for 14, right? So, and these are all on our agenda
Yes.
through the website as
They are.
well. Just one question on the debt service. That's only our debt, not any,
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
asking?
This is the
Can you
debt
explain
that is the financial responsibility and financial obligation of the county
for
itself.
us? Okay.
Yes, this is not for the mortgage,
Okay.
the mortgage pools that,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Good morning. Becky Neosi, Register of Deeds. Just wanted to give you an update on a couple of bills that we've been following, especially with the Register of Deeds. The Senate Bill 10 I testified on yesterday is the open records bill. And I spoke about the unintended consequences for that bill, especially how it would affect our office, but I'm sure many others. The 25 free copies that would be required for our office to pull just one deed. It takes about 5 minutes if we have to go back to the microfilm. So 25 copies would take 2 hours of staff time. And I just explained that that's just something we don't have. We don't have the budget, we don't have the staff for copy machine maintenance. You know, and I tell them we offer 2 free documents per customer electronically, and after that, they may come into our office anytime to retrieve those, and for free. So I think we offered enough testimony about the unintended consequences of this bill that I don't think it's going to move forward, but we'll continue to watch that one. The other one is Senate Bill 298, which is the repeal of the mortgage registration fee, and that one will have a big hit to our county. The mortgage registration fee brings in about $2.5 million, and it really is to fund all the agencies that deal with real estate, from the Register of Deeds, the clerks, the treasurers, the sheriffs, county counselor. You know, so really all the departments are affected, especially those. But you know, basically this bill would decrease the mortgage registration fee over a period of 5 years gradually, and increase filing fees, but we still wouldn't meet the revenue that we take in now. And so, you know, to me, this is a user fee. This is a way to secure the mortgage in case of foreclosure. You know, we're required to collect if there's foreclosure, and so it's a user fee, and it's one time. This increase in filing fee would spread the burden out to everyone. So the elderly lady that's coming in to record her transfer on death deed, she'll be paying $20 for one page and $15 each additional page or something like that. But we really all need to be contacting our House members. It passed the Senate yesterday. And we really need to be contacting our House members, all the departments. I'd appreciate it. And also they need to hear from the people. So it's an election year, so they really need to hear from us. And also to add to that, in an interesting turn of events, the clerks would receive a technology fund, and also the treasurers would receive a technology fund. So they added funds, and be happy to answer any questions if you have any on those.
Yes, Commissioner Cook.
Thank you, Becky, for coming and giving us an update on those 2 measures. But I would also note that all 3 senators from Shawnee County did oppose the mortgage registration fee, and I would like to thank Senators Schmidt, Hensley, and Kelly for their support of Shawnee County. Unfortunately, it was not enough. When we talk about contacting our House members, and I think that all public should be contacting their House members, there is a House informational hearing on today at 3:30, and that is in the Taxation Committee. And so these are measures that are currently moving now in the House, and so it's important for us to reach out to our House members and explain to them how much that is impact on Shawnee County.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
I would
Commissioner
agree
Bueller.
completely, and just anything that chips away at revenue for the county makes an impact on services and property taxes, so.
I agree, and it's my practice not to criticize other elected officials or other governing bodies, but I think this mortgage registration fee bill is a big mistake. And I hope everyone will contact their legislators in the House.
I wanted to
Commissioner.
explain a little bit about the clerk's fee and all, and the treasure, well, I didn't put out the treasurer's fee until today, because our Clerks Association, we have we have our representatives over there. The Clerks Association has been against this from the beginning, along with all the rest of the associations that I know of. They were not aware. They were not aware that this fee came out. It came from Sedgwick County. It came from the clerk in Sedgwick County, had nothing to do with our association. Our association did not approve this. So, needless to say, the registers are just now speaking to us again because they would have to collect it. But it still is not. It's a no-win for us because we look very bad. We've been opposing this all along, and all of a sudden, it's like, well, you're really not against it. You just were waiting for a financial gain. That is not true at all. So that point needs to be made over and over again that we didn't. And I don't think the treasurer's had anything to do with it either. And I think that may have also come from someplace far south of here. So
Yes.
just to let you know that
Thank you,
for the
Cynthia.
general public, we didn't have anything to do with it
Yeah.
Okay.
as a group. Good to know.
Thank you, Becky. Other administrative communications? Commissioner?
I had the opportunity to speak to the Tecumseh Kiwanis last night, and it was very good to visit with them, and they are very well informed of the issues, and so I had a lot of poignant questions and comments. It was commented that with the new Mars plant south of Topeka, that Forbes Golf Course has a nice aroma to it of milk chocolate, and so by the time you get to the end, you're ready for your Mars bar.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Bueller?
I have
Nothing. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive sessions.
I don't think there's a pressing need for an executive session today, so we are adjourned. Do you have anything for me?
Yes, yes. Dewey Moeller.